Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Mercifully short mail day, so we won't get into the 20-minute epic today, but I will talk about a couple of random things and then I'll show you the pickups. I got a handful in the mail. First, not related to the mail, I'll show you two things. One of them, first of all, a little bit of video continuity. If you saw my last video, how I ended up turning what should have been probably just a couple of minute video into a longer thing. But relating music to kind of the sports card thing, if you want to check it out, I'll probably put the link in one of the corners. Whatever, if you want to check that out. So this is actually the CD that I was talking about. So that's Matthew Goode, and you got a nice reflection of the table and everything there. So Matthew Goode there, Moving Walls. So that is the latest CD. This is really kind of a collection because, truth be told, notification notwithstanding, this is probably going to stay sealed because at this point you can pretty much listen to all that stuff on Spotify. There's really no reason to play it outside of the fact that I have all the other albums. So that is the 13th studio album by the artist, including the band and then as a solo artist. And I added that to my collection. And that's the reason what led to a 20-minute video last time around. So there you go. That was the first thing. Second thing, I actually was over at the bookstore and I saw this in a YouTube video and I wish I could cite exactly who it was because they had this in the background. And I actually had this on my Amazon wish list for a long time. So I wanted to pick it up. So this is Game Faces. And this one here is the early baseball cards from the Library of Congress. So I've just cracked it open, just the last little while, but you got some nice pictures there. And then I did notice as well that you have some nice images from the early baseball cards with a nice little write-up and everything. And of course you do have the all-important, so Mayo's Cup Plug. It's kind of one that I know a little bit about because I did some reading back in the standard catalog baseball cards. But then you also have the more famous ones. You got Old Judge, and then of course the T206. Can't even talk about it without having that set in there, of course. And then what I like is that they did include some of the more obscure ones, and then I saw a nice little section of the T207s as well. Oh, and of course the Mecha double folders. I like these. These are kind of neat looking. And then of course the T3, Turkey Red. So some nice cards to look through, and definitely a nice little write-up there. So that's kind of cool. So that was a nice little card-related pickup. And last and certainly not least, I'll actually show you a little clip. Today was kind of a chilly day here in Canada, and I'm wearing the cap kind of in honor of. I'm trying to think of warmer things like spring training, but it's really hard when it looks outside like the clip that I'm going to show you right now. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of an impression. Lovely outside. That's what I got to enjoy for most of the day. So that was great. So one last note I'll make really quickly before I get to the pickups is that, like I said, I'm wearing the cap in honor of trying to think about spring training and warmer weather. But one thing that I noticed, I've got a bunch of these in my collection. So this is, like I mentioned, it's the Canadian one. And then this is the newer version of the Canada Day one. Now, here's the thing. Both New Era pro-fitted caps, right? Now, this is kind of tight on my head. So the thing is that I do need a haircut, which is probably part of the deal. But the circumference of my head hasn't changed in the years since I bought this. But here's the point that I'm going to make to you. So I'm going to switch this hat in a second, but I want to show this to you. 7 5/8. So that's the size that I always used to buy in these fitted caps. Now on this, it's a little bit tight right now, but this one here fits comfortably just fine. All fine and dandy, great. Pro-fitted hat fits great, that's the whole point. But here's the thing. 7 1/2. So apparently when I took the cap off, the circumference of my head has shrunk between the time I took that hat off and put this one on. Or maybe New Era has no idea what they're doing and they're just being completely inconsistent. I leave it to you to decide. I don't get it, but anyway, I'm going to keep this one on for the remainder of the video. Why not? Last thing is, as I try to enjoy that beautiful weather that I showed you a little earlier, having one from this little package. So this is from a brewery out in Ontario, Beau's Brewing Company in Van Cleek Hill, Ontario. So I got myself this one here. This is David's Tea London Fog. I haven't tried this one yet. This was actually a gift, the 4-pack. They had an IPA there that I really liked. But this one here is infused with Earl Grey tea. So in my appropriate J's glass. I don't know why you would infuse beer with tea, but there you go. Not bad, but it's a little bit gimmicky. I don't know why you'd infuse it with tea, but that's just me. Okay, enough babbling. If I have anything more to ramble on, I'll include a video for the rest of the weekend. But for now, 2 pickups, both for the Modano collection, baseball hat notwithstanding. First of all is from Frozen Artifacts. So this is from 2009, 2010 Artifacts Hockey. So that's a gold version there. So Modano double jersey there. You've got 3 colors total between the 2 pieces. This is not a crazy one. This is numbered to $1.99. I basically picked this up because it was a really good deal. Sometimes I'll troll eBay just to see if there's anything that I don't already have that's really inexpensive. The shipping is the key, because or shipping to Canada is absolutely murder. But sometimes you'll run into somebody, maybe it's a Canadian seller most often, who's the shipping is only a couple of bucks. So I think this card was like $5 shipped. At that point, I have to pick it up, especially if I don't already have it in the collection. Second item that I picked up is actually the one that I was really looking forward to picking up, because I've been doing a bunch of deals with the same seller, and they've got a nice Modano collection. So this is one of them. So this is a UD3. So this is Mike Modano UD3, card number 159, and as you can see, it's die cut. Now, the reason why this is significant is because the die cut versions of these is one of 2 parallels, and this is numbered to 100. Now, this is important for one very good reason. Again, what I mentioned before is that in the late 90s, cards out of 100 are a lot more rare to come by compared to today. Obviously, out of 100 doesn't mean quite as much. Now, what I'll do is, the last thing I'll mention to you before I, cut this pickup video off, is I'll actually show you a couple of the other cards that I've got from that series. So that was card number 159. So it is the kind of the bronze version, die cut out of 100. And then I'll show you a few of the other ones I've got. Okay, so for the last piece here, I'm going to pull out the old portfolio. And I've gotten into kind of using these. I'm a big fan. If you like it for your collection, you have to accept the fact that you're not going to be able to see the back of the cards, but they are really nice in terms of having the black background. Okay, so hopefully this will pick it up okay. So I got 3 cards here. Now these are all 3 versions of the base. So what happens is you had card number 39, card number 99, and card number 159, I believe, if memory serves me. But I'll show you real quick, just so you can see them. So that's the first one, and then here's the second, and then here is the die cut version of that second. Now the die cut version, this one, is numbered to 1000. So what happens though with all these is that they've got the regular version, and then they've got a die cut to 1000 and a die cut to 100. So in all, you've got 9 different cards to collect, including the parallels, which makes it kind of an interesting set. Hence UD3, 3 cards per player. 3 slightly different photos, 3 slightly different technologies. Now this is the first of these that I've got. Obviously I don't have the regular version and the out of 1000 version, so I've got to chase after those, and I've got 2 for one of them and 1 for the other. So it gives me something to work on, and then hopefully I'll be able to fill up that page at some point. So again, these little kind of mini things to chase after kind of is what gives the collection that little bit of extra interest to make it fun. In addition to the whole late 90s thing that I've been working on as kind of a little side project. So that's it for the pickup video. I'm going to keep this a little bit mercifully short. If you got any questions on anything, I'd be happy to answer it. Any comments are always appreciated, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks very much.